Now, World War II veterans from all over the world have gathered in Russia to honour those who served in the so-called Arctic convoys, which carried vital supplies to the Soviet Union in its fight against Nazi Germany. Thousands of sailors braved freezing temperatures and the constant threat of the Nazis to deliver provisions, ammunition and fighter planes.
It was hell. I think that sums it up.
Cold, wet.
In the Arctic Sea, 5 minutes, you were dead. That was my aircraft. I always had the letter O all through my service, so our dispersal huts were dugouts because the airfield was being bombed all the time, so everything was dug out. And you couldn't see anything on the airfield. All the aircraft were in revetment, sunk back into the earth.
When the weather was okay for flying, there used to be about 50 bombers coming for us. Instances when we were glad of bad weather.
They were hanging in the water, but they got lots of use to their arms and legs. Cold, it's so cold. We got about 6 or 7 up to the galley and they survived, but the last one we pulled on board, it'd been too long and it died.
Well, that was RT's Nikki Aaron there talking to the veterans at the commemorative ceremony in northern Russia. She sent this report.
The celebrations here in Arkhangelsk are already underway, the 31st of August, which marks exactly 75 years since the arrival of the first convoy of the Allied forces. Now, many high-profile guests are in attendance for this event, including the ambassadors of the US, Iceland and Canada, and Her Royal Highness Princess Anne is along with her husband. But the real VIPs here today and tomorrow are the veterans, and I had the honour of speaking to some of them earlier.
While we were waiting to be deployed, we were meeting with members of the convoy, both English and American, to go to the movies or just to smoke together. I remember how we were asking them to share their cigarettes, and the very first English phrase we learned was,
"Comrade, give me 1 cigarette."
We often go to see our former brothers in arms. All the guys sitting there are actually my friends.
The main thing was defending the port of Murmansk and escorting the Russian bombers to do their job, and then handing over our Hurricanes to the comrades who taught their people how to fly them.
How do you feel about the current political atmosphere? You know, the Americans and the UK, they're very anti-Russia at the moment, aren't they? How do you feel about that?
I don't know who's anti-Russian. I'm not. And if we keep friendship at this level, with the operative level, with our friends, then hopefully we can influence the politicians.
Well, 78 convoys made that perilous trip across the Atlantic and the Arctic during the Second World War. Some 100 ships were lost and 3,000 brave sailors lost their lives. And today is about remembering those who paid the ultimate price in securing victory over Nazism. This is Nikki Aaron in Arkhangelsk for RT.
And still to come, the fate of the Brazilian President Dilma Rousseff will be decided in a matter of hours. We'll have the latest on that, plus other stories too, after a quick break.